I'm the director of Uir Kural, an organization in South India which works on a consistent life ethic philosophy, and I'm also an ardent advocate against ableism. Okay, my second question is, um, we this 2017 Act against discrimination of persons with disability is fantastic, and if it has been developed based on the CRPD, that's an added plus. But I would like to get your comments on the discrepancy where we have the PCPNDT Act, which focuses on use of certain technologies to identify or diagnose disability in the womb and eliminate that particular section of people. And because last time we had this revolutionary technology of ultrasound, it was used against women and persons with disability, and we have PCPNDT, which boosts the extra use and justifies the use, because we are not talking about inclusivity on the basis of, okay, we will try to avoid you coming into this world as much as we can, and then once you're born, we will probably tolerate your existence by giving you some provisions like amenities or education or whatever. When we talk about inclusivity, we are talking about celebrating the life of everyone, welcoming, cherishing their existence, just like any other person's.
Yes.
So these two laws are like, they just incompatible with each other, and especially in the context of bringing individual responsibility to bring inclusion, where you appeal to the conscience of people in treating the people with disabilities. How would you address the root cause of the discrimination? And also, if you can comment on the laws, I would appreciate.
Laws she can, but see, that's the whole purpose. That if those doctors, for example, let's say you as an activist, make sure that all doctors that you know have taken pledge of thinking inclusively, doing inclusively, not doing certain things that you are telling, right? I mean, we are experiencing. I think that's the fundamental, touching the heart. And of course, then a lot of other material around that has to go. But the first thing is that let doctor know that value of life. So we have a lot of articles, right? We keep on having fantastic articles written by our volunteers. I would welcome to have you also write some articles. So again, the beauty is that magnification. With thousands of people sharing this thing, we can change. Nothing will happen overnight. We know that. And I always tell that we are not a bunch of whiners, because this world was never built for disabled people. For centuries and thousands of years, it has been built only for able people. So it is very hard for everybody to start thinking. It will take few generations to think and absorb and accept the existence, rights, and respect, and remove the discrimination. Believe me, even in America, I have been here 19 years. With all due respect, they have ADA Act, but discrimination is still everywhere when it comes to employment. I can tell you that why 73% unemployed people are there in America, because there's a discrimination. So it is there. It takes time for, that's why our approach, I think, is the only or one of the most important solutions is touch people's heart and have them take some place so they'll start doing something. So it's nothing like experience.
Yeah, to answer your question on early intervention and the autonomy of the decision of the mother to bring in a child, I think it all depends on, and it all relates to whether the disability is genetic or whether it is acquired, or whether it could have been mitigated by early intervention, or whether we should leave it to our health support systems to sort of find and to educate the parents on it. But when you look at locomotor, blind and hearing impairment disabilities, most of them are genetic, most of them could also be related to the fact that vaccination programs may have had some shortfalls. But I would say, but today when you look at disabilities like autism, cerebral palsy, or developmental hyperactive disorders, you often find that it's not there only amongst the urban sort of population. You find stress-related births everywhere. So I think it is a very dynamic situation. And when you look at how to implement an early intervention program to vertically integrate it with your mother and child program, then you have to look at training modules for the foot soldiers and the health workers at the community outreach centers, and also to see that if employment opportunities needed to be provided, what are the assessment guidelines of different departments as to what kind of a person can work in a certain company or a certain government organization. As far as government organization is concerned, you can see that we have recruited people from even in the IAS and the IFS and in the railway service, you have a lot of people who have been recruited. We provide scholarships, we provide full support, but as he had mentioned that the corporate social responsibility should not be just to engage people at a certain level. We do have requests coming in saying, why don't I get promoted? I'm doing better than my colleague, or I am equally good. So such kind of dynamism in terms of optimizing the opportunities of the specially able persons is huge, complex issues that would need to be sort of integrated well with government policies and the corporate sector willing to come in fully for participation, so that people who are in the specially able sector can gain and reach benefits, can reach